Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another type of input fields in HTML where we will utilize input tag with two different attribute which is disabled and uh, another. Firstly, like we will talk about the disabled, like how we can use a input field in a disabled mode, and secondly we will discuss about the read only mode. Okay, both are very important topics as per in terms of HTML input fields, because in projects, yes, there might be some scenarios where we are supposed to utilize both of these fields, which is with input with the read only mode and input with disabled mode. Okay, so don't worry, we are going to talk each and everything in a simplest manner. I'll explain you the code, how we can write the code, what are the benefit of using this thing. Each and everything we will discuss in this session. But before we start the session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because if you follow them sequentially, then it would be really very easy for you to understand the ongoing topic, because all of these sessions are in proper sequence and sync, even in fact they are connected with each other. Okay, so it would be really very easy for you. For now, we are just moving ahead with two types of input field, which is input with default, input with disabled, and input with read only. So as of now, you can see I've just noted down the basic HTML code here, okay, which include some comment lines, some headings, right? So now I'll show you firstly the output of this page at the moment, and then we will write the code from scratch. So let me show you the output first. So you can see if I do the refresh, it is showing just HTML by Tech Sharmit, because only one heading we have added here. Clear? Fine. Now it's time to declare some fields and form. So as we are learning about input field in terms of HTML form, that's why I'm going to create a form first. So let me add form, and in form we would need some buttons as well. So let's add button according to the need, and this button I will give the name as submit, and the type of this button is also a submit. Okay, fine, let's save it and let me show you the output. So you can see it is just showing the simple submit button. But now at this moment, if I click on the submit button, it will not do anything. Why? Because we have not specified the action type. So let's add the action for this form, because for sure we are going to collect the data, then we are supposed to move that data to particular page, right? So for that reason, I'm just going to specify the action here, and the page which I want to specify here is tspgm10.html. Let's save it and refresh your browser. Once you refresh your browser and click on the submit button, this time it will take you to the new page which we have specified in action tabs. Okay, so in action we have specified the tspgm10. So it just it just submitted the data into this particular page and got navigated to this page. Clear? Fine. But so far we have not added any input field, so let's add few fields. But before that, let's add some heading just to give you a clarity on topic. So here I will mention types of input field in HTML forms. Here I want to clarify one thing. We are just learning input field in terms of form, but that doesn't mean that we are supposed to use only with forms. You can use outside the form as well. Okay, so we are just learning in a sync. That's why I'm just explaining each and every input field in a forms. Okay, fine. So if I show you the heading, it is coming like this. Now we will add another heading for the type input field. So let me add the field here, heading here. So in h2 input input field with read only. Okay, so we are going to talk about the read only field. Okay, how we can create the input field? So just to create a normal input field, you can use input tag, and we all know that this tag is not a closing tag, like it doesn't need the closing tag. So I can simply skip this, and then you can write here the other details like type. So firstly, let's add text type. Okay, then we will give name to this variable. For example, if I want to give a name as username1. Okay, So we are ready with this. Now it's time to add. Okay, let's save it as it is and let me show you one thing. Right now you can see it is accepting test. For example, if I write name Amit and submit, you can see the data has been transferred. Okay, but this was not our requirement, right? We were talking about the read only field, and even we have added the heading here, read only. So how to make this field read only? So first of all, if we wanted to make this as read only, so for sure we want to show some value in it, right? So let's initialize the value first. So I'll initialize the value. For example, if I selected like this, okay. Now if I save it, or maybe we can keep only Sharmit, save it and refresh it. So you can see it is coming with the value. Now if I click on submit, it will take the data to next page, which is Sharmit, right? This is correct, but still this is not a read only. We can edit it, right? So let's say if I edit this and make it as Tech Sharmit and submit it, you can see it is adding it, right? So how we can make this read only? It's straightforward and simplest way. You just need to add one attribute here, which is read only itself. Okay, so once you click and provide this property as read only, just save your code and refresh your web browser. But this time you are not supposed to edit anything here. Okay, so we have implemented a input field which can be used only for the read only purpose. Okay, so you can read the data, but you are not supposed to change it. Okay, now if I click on submit, for sure it will always carry forward the value as Sharmit, because this is the only thing that we have specified in this. Like if I change this, there is some spelling mistake. Yeah, so if I click on submit, it always send the username one as Sharmit. Now the question is, why do we need such field? In registration form, there are some values which we don't want to change for all user. For example, let's say one department. Okay, for a particular maybe for a computer science department, we want to create a registration form for a faculty, right? Now we all know that we are hiring for the computer science department, so I just want to fix the department as computer science. So for that situation, what we can do, we can add one read only field with the form with other form fields, so that user can see that yes, he is applying for the computer science department and there is no other option, he is not supposed to edit it. Okay, so for such type of scenario where we are pretty much sure that we are not going to edit the field, in that case we can utilize this read only attribute. Clear? Fine. Now the next thing is again related to the field itself, which is field in type input field with disabled keyword. Let me tell you how we can use it. Okay, but before that, let's add heading input field with disabled. Okay, let's save it and refresh your browser. You can see it is coming like this. Now let's add the field input. Again, no closing tag is needed. Type here I will specify as text, name as username 2. Let's keep it as username 2, and then uh, again this is the normal field, so we can write anything, right? But let's say if I don't want to allow user to write anything here, and even I don't want to show any particular value to user, so in that case what we can do, we can use the disabled keyword. What it will do, right now if I refresh my browser, you can see this field is visible but it is disabled. Make it very clear, screen would be populated on the screen, but it is disabled for the user. Now some of you might be thinking, like, why do we need then? We need this field. Suppose there is a form which is operated by two-person. One is admin, one is normal user. So for admin, there should be some fields which admin can key in, but the same field is not allowed for other user. So in such situation, what we can do, we can create a field with disable mode. So if your field is disabled, then user are not supposed to click or write anything here. Okay, so if I click on submit, it will take only one field data, which is Sharmit. Okay, so is there any way, like, can we assign value to this disabled field as well? Let's check. So here I'll write value tech. Okay, now if I save it and refresh the browser, you can see it is showing the value, but on clicking after click on submit, it is not taking the data. Why? Because this is a disabled field. Disabled means we can't move the data. Okay, in case of read only we can move. Okay, so this is how we can utilize the read only and disabled field in HTML form input fields. Okay, so I hope the session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.